So sticking to my solar radiation theory, you're about to see solar radiation impact us and radiate our south pole, radiate our atmosphere. That happened on the 20th. After this eruption, immediately after this eruption, we had the media's response and government response. So let's just go have a look at that screen recording I took that day. I'm watching the D-region absorption chart. Just as the UV gets off West Australia there, you'll see a big 35 dB flash. And then watch what happens to our south pole. It's otherwise known as a radiation storm, what you're about to see. The frequency will go up by colour there, so you're looking at highest frequency affected by 1 dB. That was the impact. Now watch the south pole. We'll just go like purple, blue, green, through the yellow, right through the red. Bam. Wow. Now that will stay there for a couple of days until the next impact washes it away. So we went high-end M class. The solar proton flux is S1. And the geomagnetic activity will probably peak up now to G2. So that was January 20, screen recording of the impact, the solar radiation impact. This is also January 20, the media's and government's response.
Perth now, we're expecting a major announcement from the WA Premier, Mark McGowan, in the next half hour or so. Rhiannon Shine joins us now from Perth. Rhiannon, what are we expecting?
But can I ask everyone, if you have any symptoms or if you have been to an exposure site, please go and get tested. The only chance we have of managing this outbreak is if people get tested and we track down all potential cases of the Omicron variant. I can't stress this enough. And listening to the latest health advice.
And this isn't a coincidence. This has happened on numerous occasions right throughout this pandemic, and it's still happening now. I've showed it in previous videos.
Begin to be implemented.
The government's response is immediate via the media.
But with more exemptions, especially for compassionate cases. So from 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, February 5, the hard border will stay with new settings that will have a focus on both safety and compassion. Under the new settings, approved travellers are permitted to enter WA with testing and quarantine under the new expanded exemption criteria, which include...
So this is why everything keeps changing. Nothing's set in stone. This explains the weather. This explains the constant changes in borders and closures and flights. This explains the sewage detection program. Everything that does not make sense can make sense when you look at it from solar radiation point of view. If you think of this as solar radiation, suddenly everything makes sense. This is something they're closely monitoring on a daily basis, and what you get there is constant change. You need to constantly rework things in order to make it work, but at the same time explain it away to people who are completely unaware. They need to encourage the urgency of this without telling you what is actually happening, because if they tell you what's actually going on, people would freak out. The globe would just stop. We wouldn't be working, we wouldn't be doing, the economy would crash, we wouldn't be doing our day-to-day things, people would panic. This is where the urgency comes from. Like 2 years straight, they've been pumping this COVID, that, but none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense because they can't tell you the truth. So when you realise what's actually happening, suddenly everything makes sense, and I mean everything. Every decision, everything you see on the media. Think of this, the media are government funded. The government's trying to spread a message and make you aware by whatever means necessary, they're trying to encourage the take-up of this therapy. It's not a preventative, by the way, it's a therapy. This is a repeat therapy where I believe we'll probably have 6 in total. It just makes sense. It's undeniable. See some of my other videos. If this doesn't make any sense at all to you still, go and check out all the rest of my videos, because I've done a couple now and I'm not the best video editor, I'm not the best at explaining things, but you will get the bigger picture. I'm not a professional in any of these fields, but these 2 videos and these 2 videos will paint a clear enough picture as to what's going on. It doesn't take a professional to figure it out.